Anyway, welcome everybody. We've got some, let's see who's in the room. I guess I'm driving this thing. Go to the next slide. We are recording and welcome to the North Bay Electric Auto Association's monthly meeting with the wrong date on the thing. We'll go for a little bit of chapter business, and then I think today is mostly announcements and events and some news. And then we'll talk about the next meeting. Let's see. For those of you who are there, John, do you want to do this talk here?
Sure. If you need the bathroom, it's just right over there by the entry door. And there's paper towels and stuff there. And then everything else in here is kind of hands off. You can look, but if you have questions, you can ask me. But this is Thunderstruck, and this is where we put kits together for EVs and boats and other stuff.
Well, very, very good. And thanks, Mike. I assume you brought donuts and coffee. Thank you.
All right.
Plenty of donuts for anybody who wants to come down.
Darn it. I wish I was there. I was working at my mom's house all week and I got my throat all scratched up with dust. And then I went yell a lot at the Giants game last night. So I'm not sure if I'm sick or not. So I decided to just, out of abundance of caution, just take the meeting from here.
COVID's been going around, so
It
even if
has.
you don't feel you have COVID,
I know.
take a test anyway.
That's what I was thinking, and I'm not even sure if my kits are good anymore. So, welcome for folks who are joining. Hey, Russ made it on his phone. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see. We covered that. So, that's a good question. You must have put this one in, Ellen.
Yeah, John and I came up with this.
I love it. I love it. So let's go on the Zoom first, and then John, if you could broker the owl in the room. I'll start with Cecilia.
Yeah.
All right. Cecilia. And upcoming EV release. I mean, I guess it's still going to be Aptera.
All right. Aptera it is.
Maybe we should take votes.
All right. How about you, Russ?
I'm Russ in Petaluma, and the same for me, Aptera.
All right. Very good. Linda?
I'm going to say something real fast. The petition for the tax thing for the smart train are being circulated. I saw some at Community Market in Sebastopol. So if people are interested in supporting that, there's petitions. Next EV release. I don't know. I think this is probably my last car. So I would like to see more robo taxis. And I've heard that someone is saying they're really going places. And someone had a meeting with a lot of seniors, and the Waymos took most of them to the senior center he was speaking at. So I am excited about the robo taxis.
You know, I wish I had the foresight to take a video last night in San Francisco down by the park. There was an EV that looks like a loaf of bread.
Yeah.
It's
My
called
friends were talking about that.
a Zook or a Zooks or something like
Are
that.
they out, or are they still
They're out.
preparing?
They are
Ooh, the
they are
Zooks are out.
driving around, and they are straight from every movie you've seen about the future. Every one of them has a Zooks in it.
Really?
Yeah, and I asked my kid what it was. He said, "That's a Zooks, Dad." And those are employee rides, and apparently Zooks is down by the ballpark somewhere, and they're just doing small circular patterns near there, and very, very cool vehicles.
Actually, I'll just say, so they're live in Vegas now. You can hail a Zoot in Vegas.
They must be live in San Francisco too. My
Yeah.
friend Raj yesterday said he took one.
Mhm.
I think they're in Silicon Valley as well,
Yeah.
or South San Francisco area.
Yeah. But they are completely driverless then?
They have no steering
I was
wheel.
gonna say there's no
Okay.
control.
No,
They
they're not
can
in the
go either
monitoring
direction,
phase.
it looks like. They're the same on each end.
Yes. Like
Oh,
a
that's funny.
Corvette, like a Corvair.
Does anyone know what happens when a autonomous vehicle gets in an accident in terms of like insurance information and stuff?
That would be interesting to find out about because 30 some odd years ago, I was out of work and was working with a bunch of guys and we were talking about making vehicles that wouldn't run into each other. And the reason we couldn't do it was we couldn't figure out the liability. The technology was trivial.
Vivo has had several accidents, and I don't remember what I think the company, if the Waymo was at fault, the company was held liable, I think, because there have been Waymos and other autonomous vehicles that have been in accidents.
Yeah,
And
GM's
sometimes a person runs into that vehicle, but on the whole, sometimes the vehicle just malfunctions for some reason. That the AI isn't up to the task or whatever. It's rare. They say the miles driven by all those crashes make the news, but if you go mile by mile, humans are a lot worse drivers.
Yeah.
But they're self-insured for the most part.
Speak, otherwise you won't get in there.
it's GM's Cruise. They had an incident where they dragged a woman like 15 feet at 7 miles an hour or something, and the company got shut down.
Oh, no.
But I don't know how the insurance works, but the licensing, basically each AI or each company that is capable of self-driving has to go to the state of California and get basically a driver's license for their AI. And yeah,
If they get too many dings on their record, they lose their license.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's keep moving here. Ellen, how about you? You wrote the question. You must have a fantastic answer.
I don't know. But my name's Ellen. I'm in Santa Rosa. I'm really looking forward to the Rivian R2 and R3, mostly because I do like a smaller EV size, and I'm excited about the lower price bracket to get more people driving Rivians. So I would love to own an R2 or R3 someday.
All
So
right. Very
excited for
good.
that.
David? David Heacock?
Oh, me?
Yeah,
Oh,
you.
thanks for waking me up.
Yeah.
I'm in Fairfield, and I'm the Aptera fan too. I guess Russ said something about that. They're going to go public here, I guess, but I don't know how long that's going to take. They've already applied to do that. But that's my first choice. Does anybody, I got a couple questions. Does anybody know why the Tesla stock has gone up recently so much? And also, I was kind of interested in the Model 2. What's going on with the Model 2?
The stock probably went up because of the Model 2 and the announcements on the Model 2.
Did they announce it?
Yeah, they've been announcing it and they announced two different prices, at least from the videos I saw. One is for the stripped down model at 15.5, and then the more luxurious model at 25K.
So they'll be
Wait a minute. $15,000 for a car?
That's what
$15,000.
Is that real?
Let's
$25,000 for a car is amazing.
Yeah,
let's bring it up in discussion later.
Yeah.
That's
That's
a good question. Yeah.
Dominic, you're up.
I saw a video this week where the founder of Anduril was flying around a Jetson 1. So that is now on top of my list as a Jetson 1. So sorry, Jerry and all the other pilots and Bernie, but that's what I want. The Jetson 1 is basically a piloted quadcopter. And I don't know anything about it other than this short little video that I saw, but it was phenomenal. It's about the size of, it's smaller than a car actually, maybe a little bit bigger than a motorcycle. And there's twin propellers in every corner, and I think it's worth. I'll dig up a video for y'all to see it. It looks pretty cool. So let's go to the room now.
Okay, I can do that.
Do you want to stop
yeah.
sharing the video?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah,
what's
okay.
that?
Stop sharing your screen.
Stop sharing my screen. Oh no, we're gonna go to the room, Cecilia.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
so we
you
can
say
see
stop
people.
sharing your screen so that you can see the room. Otherwise, you're going to see little people.
Got it.
Anyway, I'm Jerry,
Got it.
and I was going to say the Tesla 2 because of the price that they're announcing more than anything else. It's, it's a stripped down version of Tesla's, and Tesla's trying to compete. Nobody else is trying to compete at that level yet. And in Europe, vehicles are being delivered by BYD at that price range. So they're looking at making a U.S. company feeding the U.S. market with low-end car. Now, I don't like Tesla, but that that particular vehicle. The second one for me is a Joby, which will start serving San Francisco, I believe, next year as a taxi service.
Air taxi, right?
Yeah, air taxi.
Now, weren't
And
they
they'll-
just added to Uber, right, Jerry?
Uber actually, yeah, they've been part of Uber for a while.
Okay.
They're funded by Uber, and they're going to have pilots to start with, like the first year or so, and then after that, they don't plan on having pilots. That was a compromise that they did. But the one thing about the Waymos, one of the guys yesterday when we were drinking beer pointed out to me that the Uber driver said they were pulling in, 20,000, 12,000 a month or something like that. They're down to pulling in San Francisco, 8,000 a month now.
Why is that?
Because Waymo has taken the business away from them.
Yeah.
And the reason is that the number of women riding in Ubers has dropped dramatically, and they're going in Waymos because they feel safer.
I've been getting a lot of messages about that.
Really?
Yeah, we vet our drivers. You can get into an Uber, stuff like that.
Okay, thanks, Jerry.
Wow.
You want to introduce yourself and go for it, Caleb?
Jacob.
I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm calling him Caleb. I work with him.
My little brother's name is Caleb.
Okay.
Anyway, I'm probably I don't know if it is even considered an upcoming release at this point. I think it may have been released, but the new Leap. It's finally got a water-cooled battery, proper DC fast charging support. Yeah. Hopefully, and it's supposed to be relatively inexpensive. I think low 30s.
You guys gonna have a slide on that today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Great.
awesome.
Great. Okay.
Yeah. Thanks, Jacob.
I'm Dan. That new lower end model Hyundai looks kind of interesting that I've seen online.
That's the 2, right?
Or is it a
Three.
three?
The 3.
Yeah.
Is it a three?
Yeah.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the price on it?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's exciting.
I'm Sonia, and since we haven't gotten a vote yet, I think I'll put one in for the Ford Maverick sized pickup. And I'm not picking the slate because I thought, in reality, I may not want something that simple and stripped down. Like I've kind of gotten comfortable in my Model 3, and I am who I am at this point in my life. I might want something that's like a little bit.
But aren't they claiming it's going to be stripped down? The
That
Ford?
Maverick one?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, you're right.
I
I
don't
don't know.
I wouldn't imagine it would be as stripped down as the Slate. And in my opinion, I think Slate picked some less than ideal cuts to make.
Yeah.
I think probably Ford will be a little bit more careful
Standard.
in what they cut off, or standard, probably a better
Yeah.
word.
But in reality, I do think that like it's hard to ignore the R2, R3 because they're gonna have better software, and I always go for kind of the better software.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Computers on wheels.
Yep.
Go
Right. Hi, everybody. I'm Mike. And like Sonia said, a truck that'll fit in a garage. That's what I'm most interested about.
Right.
Yeah.
Because all the ones today don't fit in my garage.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Brad. So I don't currently have an electric vehicle. What I'm most excited about is a used vehicle dealership in the North Bay area that specializes in used EVs. Haven't seen that happen yet, so I'm still trying to, share basic information around that. And so the EV I'd be most excited about would be whatever I could get that was used.
It would be great if that happens.
Yeah.
I saw an email that told me, I was very excited to tell me that my car is now worth $22,000.
Okay.
I have 25,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
It does everything that it did the first day.
Yeah, Model 3.
No, I have the Kia EV6.
Oh, wow, that's surprising.
Yeah, it's down to $22,000, and I don't want to tell you that I've probably spent 2.5 times that amount to buy the car 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So used EVs are finally getting to the point where they're really attractive.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I guess at the end of September, because of the budget bill that passed earlier in the year, the tax incentives for both new and used electric vehicles are sunset.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the value of the car is $22,000. For me, $22,000 is what cars have cost for the last 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, some of the new cars I've seen, 5,000 mile new cars of this same year.
Yeah.
Going for 10 or more $1,000 less than.
Yeah, I'm just gonna.
Yeah, it just would have turned a $22,000 car into an $18,000 car.
Okay, well,
You still get the PG&E rebate though.
yeah.
Yeah.
Which is $1,000 to $4,000, depending on how much money you make.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi,
I'm Stan. I'm a three-peat EV owner builder. I converted my first EV back in 2009 when gas hit the staggering sum of $5 a gallon. That was 3,500 pounds, flooded lead acid, went all of 20 miles, and that was 20,000. And then after I realized that, that's not going to work. So we leased our first Chevy Bolt with the Sonoma Clean Power Incentive Program. They gave us $3,000 to do so. We ran it to with 3 years, about 50,000 miles. And then I called up the dealer and I says, just for fun, I said, I'd like to return this lease. I'd like to have no inception fee. I'd like to not pay the extra mileage and have the exact same $310 payment that I had before. It was the second to the highest model. In other words, it had the cloth seats, but it did have lane assist. It's about a $22,000 value now. I'll talk about that in a minute. And the guy said, sure. And I'm like, wait, let's try this again. No incentive fees, no taxes, no any fees, surcharges, inception costs, whatever you want to call it. He said, come down today. So I couldn't believe it. So we dropped off the bright orange one. That was in 2017. And then it's not the Bolt EV. You
got the
EUV. It was a short one. And then we picked up the bright blue one. It's 2020. My wife drives a lot. She has 100,000 on it.
Wow.
And so the lease was about to go up, and we the GM people said, you need to come for a software upgrade. We didn't want to do it because it downgrades the range. So we ended up doing software upgrade anyway. And then it downgraded the range to 80%. And then after a short time, like a month or so, they said, battery's not performing.
Thank you.
You're on the list to get a brand new. So we went up to a Napa. We do everything with Napa. I don't like Victory. They're not very knowledgeable or user friendly to our family. So we got our second Bolt up there at Napa at Jimmy Vassar. And then when the lease was up, we wanted to ground the lease. And we went on and on and on about how to do that. And the sticking point was paying 3 years per car with no warranty.
Did you say ground?
When you ground the lease, you return the car.
And
that is the last thing they want. The term to ground the lease is the last words that they want to hear. They want you to buy the car or transfer it into something else.
Okay.
So they taught me those. No, like, what do you mean? There's no warranty on this car. I'm not gonna have this car for 3 years with no warranty. So I went to the finance manager, and I said, here's your car. I'll write you a check for the extra miles. Because my wife drives a lot. I mentioned that before. And we finally came to an agreement. I cut him a check for $7,000. And they put a 100,000 mile warranty on the car that already had 50,000 on it, because that was the warranty of the battery. And I tried to explain to them, battery the car does not make.
Yeah.
So so that's where we're at now. So now we've got this
What's the future like for you? That's kind of what we're.
well, it's very interesting you say that, because the question is, the Chevy Bolt is an off-the-shelf parts vehicle. It is not a high-end like a Tesla or anything like that. So
It's off the shelf in Korea though, isn't it?
some shelf somewhere. So far, we've had some software glitches that they paid for, and some wheel sensors that they replaced and paid for. And the front suspension is sort of creaking a little bit sometimes, but she has 100,000 on it. And I'm really excited for the continuation. They decided to not scuttle the Bolt program. They went to the Bolt EUV. I'm not a GM person. I'm a Ford person, a Toyota person. All my other vehicles are Fords and Toyotas. But I'm not thrilled with Ford's decision to just say, oh gosh, we're just gonna make a smaller battery. I'm a range guy. We get 250 miles out of that thing, and we get 200 miles per charge all day long. It's not just on paper.
So we're going to try to replace the Bolt as it hits 100,000 miles on the way.
That is a great question, because we got the new battery, and the new battery is good for 100,000. But there's plenty of people who have run that battery longer than 100,000. But the big question is, what about the rest of the car? It is that thing that was told to me that it's designed for a 3-year customer, because the average 3-year lease, or the average customer hasn't gone for 3 years. So it's not designed.
No.
This is the intro time.
No.
So we haven't even gotten the meeting yet.
Yeah.
You're welcome to talk
Already
more
done
about it
that.
later. But
Yeah.
do you have a car that is coming that you're excited about? Is it the Bolt? Were you going to say the Bolt?
Yeah. I want to see they've had a good, long-lasting, a lot of experience with these vehicles, and I don't know if with the Traverse. I'm a Ford guy. I would prefer to ride the Ford, but if they've invested in a business model involving a smaller battery, it's not doesn't suit my needs.
Yeah.
And Bernie?
Good.
So if we have time at the end, I'd like to come back and kind of pick up some of the threads of what you were saying, Stan, if I got it right. So yeah. So yeah, that's great. John, I didn't mean to cut you off. I think we're on to Bernie now, right?
We're on to Bernie.
Okay, and what car am I aspiring to?
Well, just
What are you excited
the
about?
newer releases coming out. Are there any that are exciting to you?
Well, Aptera has always been interesting, but
Yeah.
I just crashed my 3.
Oh no.
Sorry.
How's that experience been?
Oh.
In terms of-
They don't give you much for the old car.
Model 3 or i3?
The Tesla was going to give me 14K for it. It's got 80,000 miles.
Before you crashed it or after?
Yeah, no, before. And so I said no thanks, and now I did replace it, and I replaced it with a Y, and because I think Tesla's ahead of everybody.
So the insurance determined it was totaled.
Yeah.
My mom hit somebody in her 23 Model 3 long range about 3 months ago, and it was a minor front. Well, it was a front end collision at about 40 miles an hour, and I think it ended up being 14 grand for them to fix the thing. I mean, it was 2 headlights is like $6,000. Front plastic is like $500. I think they had to replace the crash bar for $200, and then the rest of labor.
Yeah, if the battery is still good. I mean, I've actually tried to encourage Thunder Truck before to work with a used vehicle dealer to purchase vehicles from insurance auto auctions that have, been deemed to be totaled, even if the battery is still functional, because there's a lot of parts on a, total, considered total vehicle EV.
Yeah.
They're still good components.
Okay,
I'm really not sure it's totaled, the center divider, I kind of slammed into it flat sideways. But they said that it destroyed the suspension system. And the front wheel was.
Glad to see you walked away, Bernie.
Yeah.
It's a tough car.
Yeah.
So somebody touched lightning right there.
Luckily, it didn't explode.
So
Yeah.
anything else in the future that you, not necessarily that you want because you have your why, but is there another car you're excited about?
Well, I'm just excited that there's so many new ones coming out.
Yeah.
I find that very interesting. Yeah, I mean, I can't keep up with them.
The number I got last year was in the United States, which is not the biggest EV market in the world.
True.
There were over 80 models available in the United States.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Wow. Well, in China, they're trying to weed people out. I heard.
Yeah.
There was just too many little guys
Yeah.
trying to get into the EV market.
Okay, well, David, go ahead with your thoughts.
Yeah.
Well, since we have now, I just got the 6-month renewal on the insurance for the EV6. Right? So we've had it in September, end of September will be 6 months. And, it's such a leap forward from, we're on our 5th week.
Locked up.
Oh,
We lost him. Well, let's see. Let me text John, tell him we lost him. He may not know.
Yeah, gosh. We really
Hey
lost
guys, we
him.
lost you.
Huh.
When I'm at Thunderstruck, that's why I use my phone sometimes as the network.
Oh, really? Not good.
Yeah, I don't know what the issue is. But
Owl has
There's
there we go.
Oh, it's loading, it looks like.
There we go. We got you back.
Try it again. We don't hear you in the owl.
12, 24, 36. Test. Oh, I know how to get the room quiet. Does anybody want to make a presentation on Aptera? All of this interest in Aptera.
I know. That would be a
Somebody
great
has to make a presentation on why this elusive car is so wonderful, because I haven't been following it, but everybody seems to love it.
What
That would
car?
be a great presentation.
solar freaking charging.
Which car was that, Dominic?
Aptera. We need a presentation on Aptera.
Yeah,
Who
okay.
wants to do it?
Well, let's let David continue so that we can move
All
on.
right, fair enough. All right. Hey, David. So you were.
Well, I was saying that the 2020 Leaf, my daughter drove it in the driveway after work. She gets home at close to midnight. And next morning, I go to turn it on and I get this red thing that says EV power system not available.
I've only had that 3 times in the first month.
12-volt battery.
Yeah.
I kept talking to the dealer and they kept saying, I told David the story, talking to the dealer, they replaced part, then they replaced the piece, they took the whole thing apart, replaced the PCU. And I kept saying, it's the 12-volt system. No, we know what we're doing. Finally, in the end, they replaced the 12-volt harness. It's worked perfectly now for the last 7 years.
Cool. Well, David, finish it up here.
Well, so the thing is, acting like a dead, so I have T-Mobile, and T-Mobile will give you 1 year of AAA membership for each side. I mean, how are they get that? Because I expect, okay, I'm gonna have to flat bet this thing to the dealer. But I go out there again, and it's making noises under the hood. I said, well, I had read on the Volt user forum that, well, when the 12 volt starts getting low and as you start getting a run, error things showing up. And I thought, well, maybe the same thing is true with the Leaf. So I took the terminal off of the negative ground and put the charger on it overnight.
Just turn the video back.
And the next day, everything's back to normal and it's been operating for a week. And I haven't bought a new 12 volt battery yet. So
So it's just a restart.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Still working on it. I'm done.
Just-
That
no,
exact
no,
thing.
the question, did you have anything you're excited, just the after?
Well,
right? Yeah, after.
well, I mean, the EV6 is new enough to me that it's
Oh, okay.
it's a thing to be excited about.
Okay.
That's right.
So
He,
everybody, you guys can hear me out there?
yep. We're-
Because we keep having a little glitch. So I'm John, I work here at Thunderstruck. And I'm technically the vice president, actually. Anyway, the of this unit. So anyway, I was thinking about it. I agree with so many of you, like Jacob. I agree with the Leaf. I think I'm excited just to see the Leaf come back as a real long range car, 300 miles. So that's exciting.
Yeah, battery that's not going to die in 10 minutes.
Yeah. But I heard from Brian Hall, the owner of Thunderstruck, that there was some Mercedes vehicle that's in the test mode right now that has one of the solid state batteries in it.
Yeah.
And it went like almost 750 miles without charging. And I thought, I mean, just on one charge. And I thought that's pretty cool, exciting to see technology come into some of the EVs that are production EVs. That'll be exciting.
Yeah, I remember.
Hey. Sorry, this is just on the same one. Volkswagen just demoed. I was wondering why Quantumscape stock popped up. Volkswagen just demonstrated one of the Volkswagen Group vehicles, which is a motorcycle, with the solid state production vehicle. They haven't gone into production yet. Yeah.
So
Really?
Did you have an estimated cost?
No.
it's going to be like
Yeah, so because
Okay. So anyway, that's any other additions? We should probably move on to
yeah.
I
to
just
our
want to
next.
say real
please.
quick
Yeah.
that I took the poll results and I'll send them out and we
Oh.
got so many votes because we got one of everything except for 3 Apteras, so that means a lot of diversity.
Yeah.
So that's the news.
Cool.
Hey, I just want to throw in one thing because when I brought this up, if you haven't signed the petition document for SMART, the reason for signing that is there's going to be a vote on the funding SMART. If SMART is not refunded, they have to shut it down because basically our fares pay about 5% of the cost of running the trains, which is about the amount that it pays for buses and all public transit. So it's not any different. And that's the only funding source that it actually has that relies on. And the reason for signing this is that the legislature would come in and put it on. But if the legislature puts it on as a bill for us to vote for, you need a 66% pass.
Really?
If we all sign a petition to put it on the ballot, then it's only a 50% pass.
Interesting.
Eddie gave a talk at we have a seat on the Sonoma County Transportation and Climate Action. Change the name of the organization. Authority, whatever. And that's why I know those things. And Eddie gave a report back and he said, hey, we did a poll to find out what percentage of the voting population would actually vote for this. He said, we came up with 72% because it's so popular at this point.
Oh.
But signing the petition would be great. 50% would make it really nice and easy to make sure the train's going to continue. The other thing that I'm just going to bring up real fast, it's the report back. I'm sorry.
It could wait, but that's
no, yeah, is that you should be hearing about the mascots study that was over a year being done on what should we do with our public transit in Sonoma County and Marin County. The proposal right now is to discontinue running Golden Gate Transit services into Sonoma County except for the 172. And instead to beef up SMART because SMART runs the 101 corridor and get all the buses. So the buses take you instead of someplace close to a train station, take you to the train station. And then the 101 service out of Marin will run every 15 minutes. So if you want to go to San Francisco, you can't miss a bus. We'll increase the buses, then increase the number of ferries, and the train will be guaranteed to run every half hour. And that's about as fast as often as they can go until they have more track because
More siding.
more sidings. They have to have more sidings because they have to have the transfers.
It's planned to be every 30 minutes, the whole operating time.
The whole operating time. The operating time will extend
Including the
later in the
weekends?
evening as well.
Yeah,
So basically pushing that current change transit volume over smart.
In
And then with more routes like one in, it's already happening anyway.
Yeah. Right, I think
Yeah.
that's right.
Yeah.
Jerry, do they have a plan because for the Santa Rosa smart station downtown and Railroad Square, but the transit malls quite a distance away compared to Santa.
So part of what they've already done, they've changed some of the bus schedules, and I looked at it, it's unfortunate the timing. The buses now stop at Third and Railroad to get you closer to the train station. Instead of going to the transit mall, they're trying to get buses to stop. And Santa Rosa City Bus already had a bus, which does go on a regular basis to the station. And now for West County, the 24 bus now stops at the railroad station before it goes to the transit mall.
Hey, can we move on a little bit?
Okay.
Yeah, let's keep going. Jerry, that's great stuff. Can you put a slide on that next time? Oh, you're not going to be at the 29 meeting.
No, you're going to be the one putting the slide together because you're going to the meeting.
Okay, fair enough. I'll put the slide together with whatever Jerry said at following the. I think is there a vote on that next time, Jerry, at the 29th?
The vote.
It's just a out brief. All right, let's keep going, and we'll come back to this.
What you're going to hear on that meeting is the buses, and so you can ask all the questions you want about how you're going to support mascots.
Gotcha. Okay, so let's see. Everything that we do is so first off, we're a chapter of the EVA, and I do have a slide from the EVA, an appeal that they're making right now. Of course, our mission is, as it has been, educate and advocate for the rapid adoption of electric vehicles. We've got a website and we've got a Facebook group, and Ellen maintains that. So thank you, Ellen, and Cecilia for doing the work on the, and John for picking up the work on the website. Jerry sends out 3 emails a month. Unless I annoy him a lot, he'll send out a 4th, but generally it's 3 a month. And then all of these meetings are, recorded and available on YouTube. And if you want to get into the discussion, it is an opt-in discussion group. And as Brad has learned and I have learned, you actually have to you have to kind of stay on it to get into the group, but then you get access to all the chatter that's happening at NBEAA-discuss at GoGroups.com. And then club is, it's in Texas, they would say that's all y'all. And that's the one that goes out to the entire group. And then any news that you want to share with the group, then push it on to news@nbeaa.org. And we'll make a slide on it. So let's see. A couple things. Ellen, did you want to go over this slide, Ellen? We had a
Yeah,
that was a
sure.
lot of fun. That was a fun picnic.
Yeah, we had a great time on August 9th at La Plaza Park in Cotati. I thought it was a great location. Thank you, Sonia, for proposing that and looking into that for us. We all brought some little snacks and food to eat. It was great because there was lots of shade, really kind of a fun atmosphere. And then a few of us did a little mini field trip across the street and checked out the 12 Tesla superchargers. Saw some vehicles charging there. It is open to non-Tesla vehicles, which is nice. Yeah, it was a great location, and I think we could consider that for next year too.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that was really good. The key is avoiding the accordion festival, which I think was the following weekend, if I remember.
got it. Okay.
Um,
Yeah,
It was
but thanks for everyone who
interesting
came.
that
yeah,
the park's mascot, or they had a statue of a guy, and I thought maybe when I was walking behind it, I thought maybe it was of Katati, who actually is a person. It was
yeah,
a Native American chief or a Native American important person. That's what the city's named after. No, it was some guy playing an accordion. It was some famous person to do with the accordion festival. So that must be Katati's real thing. And yeah,
yeah,
it was a lovely little park.
yeah. Yeah, it was what was great about it was having time to spend with everybody and not just 3 minutes, but get to know everybody a little better. So
I loved hearing about the smart train and how they're hooking up all, as was being discussed before, all our they're starting to get smart about public transportation so we can get from point A to point B, and the buses are starting to link and work together. So that's going to be a real boon.
it really will. Okay. Let's see. So historically, for National Drive Electric Month, we have done or at least maybe not historically, but at least for the last several years, we've been working with Sonoma Clean Power to do an event out there with a big rollout and cars and on the street and all that. And I think Sonoma Clean Power evaluated the best approach to get linked into this. And I think I support their position of what they did. Instead of having a National Drive Electric Month in September or early October, they decided to focus in early August to do a workshop seminar at Sonoma Clean Power to get the word out about the expiring EV tax credits. And so I actually happened to be on break. I had sent them a set of slides, and they said, nope, none of those. So Sonia just got in on it immediately, took over, and built a really simple, clean set of slides that I think the public walked away with some better information about the expiring tax incentives there. So. We covered the $7,500 federal tax credit, the $4,000 used credit. Sonoma Clean Power themselves presented on Grid Savvy, and then RCU had a extremely sharp loan agent there, vice president of auto loans, who did a great job on presenting basically Redwood Credit Union's investments in, or not investments, but focus on used EVs and new EVs. So I think maybe to circle back to Brad's point and many of our point, that'd be sure nice if someone would focus on a dealership would focus on EVs, and we may be able to convince Redwood Credit Union that might be in their best interest. So that's something to think about how to do. But it was a really good session with them. Yeah, good.
His presentation that was precisely what he would do. That
They'll sell you anything.
yeah, he said, if you want us to look for a used car for you, we'll go look for a used car for you.
And
That's
also
right.
a new car.
Yeah.
That's right.
So, yeah, I would like to hear from you, Dominic, because it sounded like, it became more clear that Redwood Credit Union can help you broker a car. They can help you, like, if you're the kind of person that kind of understands what you want, you say, I want to use such and such, or a new such and such, and let us go get it for you. And then they can handle the financing for you. So we do have a local EV broker, which is kind of nice.
Yeah.
But it doesn't take the place of like the ability to kind of touch and feel something, all that. I wonder if we can convince them to have more on the lot.
Yeah, that's where I was going with it, Sonia, is can we get more vehicles on the lot over on Santa Rosa Avenue?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brad.
Yeah, I kind of think of it more as being the EV sale led by the customer. In a situation like what Redwood Credit Union's doing, where they sell whatever the customer wants to the customer, as opposed to if a used vehicle dealership specializes in electric vehicles, like Thunderstruck does, and its business niche, then the business is able to kind of promote electric vehicles instead of having the customer have to ask.
And convince you to buy what they want to sell you.
Well, I was thinking we're trying to promote electric vehicles.
Yeah.
None of us do this full time except Thunderstruck. Yeah.
But that's what it feels like every time I go to the dealership.
If you don't want a key, maybe you want, you have a key on the lot, he's very motivated to provide you with a key.
Also, kind of like
Yeah, it's the best, let me tell you why, Kia is the best.
kind of like when Tesla, started producing only electric vehicles, then a lot of the other major automakers started going, oh, okay, these guys are making a lot of money, maybe we should do it.
I will say that I came away thinking that Redwood Credit Union is more interested in a financial services relationship with you, and that they aren't as interested in, upselling
the different additional warranties and things like that. So they come at you differently. The dealer does. That's what you get. So that's kind of nice,
Yeah, if you think about it that way, the loan is the issue for them, not the car itself.
right?
Yeah, right.
Want you to be happy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And be able to afford it.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, Dom.
Yep. Let's see. So, some of you, Jerry and David, and maybe Bernie, who just bought a new EV, may have gotten an email this last week that your clean air decal is no longer valid. I think it's independent of the age of the vehicle, but at this point, a change in the federal policy says that these things are going away. Now, in California, I have no idea what this is going to mean for enforcement. Right? I mean, the CHP may go, yeah, whatever, man. Maybe they have other fish to fry. My thinking right now is that they'll probably enforce it because it is a hefty fine. It's nearly $500 if you violate the HOV lane laws. But in any case, all of our stickers of any color shown in the upper right-hand corner are going away here at the end of September. So don't get caught after the 1st of October.
When I
Hey,
start,
Dominic.
go ahead, John.
Oh, I was just curious, Dominic. I'm ignorant about this. So my ignorance says those stickers were created by California. Is that not correct?
Wait, yeah, I was the jump in, so I'll
Okay.
explain that, because I thought the same thing, so I went and did the research on it.
Okay.
Yes, they're created by the state of California.
Well, then
However-
screw them.
However, the large portion of the funding for all of our roadways and the highways,
Oh, I see.
certainly the highways,
Oh,
okay,
okay.
come from the federal government. So they granted the state the right to
Oh,
have the HOV stickers. In fact, they granted the right also for the lanes to be high occupancy. Now, if Donald Trump decides that high occupancy is not a good idea anymore, well, he can issue an executive order and spend about 5 years in the courts trying to figure out, can you do that?
okay. I see. So I get the point. Yeah.
I would
Well-
imagine it's probably similar to how the drinking age was raised to 21. It's that story. Basically, the federal government strong armed states into mandating that you have to be 21 by reducing or majorly reducing highway funding if they do.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
the other related thing is the CARB regulation. California has the exemption to have higher standards for air quality, and the feds could wipe that out.
They're trying to.
What-
They've at least said they will.
What's the most recent color? Like yellow?
I don't
I
know.
don't know, mine are all dead, so,
Right. It's just yellow.
mine
You're-
were at it.
Your EV shouldn't have died, Jerry.
No, yeah, both my EV, the one that I never picked up.
The 6 you never put on? Okay, I got you.
I never picked it up for the Kia. The Leaf is 7 years old, and it was
Yeah.
5 years later.
So does
Yeah.
anyone have a valid HOV sticker?
I do. I do.
Mine's red.
Maybe it's
What year is it? I just got it. Okay, so it's September of last year.
And it had a stated validity for.
No, so this one, it's totally right, this is a federal government thing, but this, when I got mine in September of last year, they said you're only gonna get it till September of 25. They're already expiring.
Say it
Probably.
your time.
No, it would have, I mean, overall, it would have been longer, but because my other cars, you had it for 5 years.
Even
No,
in the state,
no,
the program was instituted as a temporary program.
Yeah.
In
But
order to incentivize people to start buying EVs.
Right.
City of Sebastopol, 10% of the vehicles in the city of Sebastopol are electric vehicles. We're over 25, only about 30% in the Bay Area now purchases of new vehicles are electric vehicles.
Part of the reason for the HOV lanes was not only to reduce air pollution, which is why the Priuses and the electrics and so forth can get these stickers. It was also to reduce the number of cars. And looking at the number of hybrids and
right.
EVs and other cars that qualify for these things, I think it was not doing the purpose of reducing the number of vehicles using the freeway. It was to encourage people to, the original purpose was to encourage people to carpool.
Yeah, there's no question.
And majority of us, I don't have anybody to carpool with or want to. I'm not going to work. I'm driving my car because I'm wanting to go from point A to point B. And I never use the HOV lanes because I don't think they're made very well in Northern California or Southern California. They're kind of hard to get in and out of. So, but in the case of people with these stickers, yeah, it was originally not because of pollution, but because of the number of cars on the freeways.
Right, right.
To reduce traffic congestion.
Yeah.
So I just noticed this is happening at the end of September. Does anyone know if this change was also related to the budget bill that cut off the?
No.
Okay, this is a separate.
This, like I say, this was enacted at least in 2020. I think this might be related to the NBEAA.
Yeah, but it wasn't supposed to expire in September 2025. That's new. And that's why I brought it up, is that this is new news, that it's
I think it's just the announcement, Don, because like I said, when I got mine in September of 24, they said it's only gonna last till September 25.
I heard about this last year before
Mike,
the beautiful bill.
But Mike, that's because you have a 2022 car.
Yeah, or because it's only good for 1 year.
Right. So it's only good for the period of that particular vehicle. This program, as I said, is reading the note, the email, the federal government is ending the CAV decal program at all states. You read the facts and it says it's because of a change in federal policy. This is a new change. This program was supposed to go a couple more years.
And but
This
time,
is
it's gonna be maybe only 1 year for each.
maybe so. Maybe so.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if that federal change was the budget bill that also cut off the sunsetted the tax incentives.
Sounds like it's separate.
Yeah, it's separate. Yeah, it's separate.
Down.
Okay. Let's see.
Okay.
There you go.
So John and I put this slide together. I wanted to bring it up for a couple of reasons, but first of all, just let you know that the Clean Cars for All program has reopened, which is exciting. They were, there was a wait list for a while earlier this year, and then they completely closed this summer for a while. I believe partly they ran out of funding. And then just on August 19th, they relaunched the program, which is very exciting, I think. And in case you're not familiar with it, it is a grant for income qualified Bay Area residents as a way to kind of get older ICE vehicles off the road and, give people an incentive for going electric or some type of clean energy vehicle. And the reason I wanted to bring this
map is the Bay Area Air Quality Management District, right? Because Northern Sonoma County is in a different air quality management district.
Yeah, it's part of their
Yes.
program. Yeah.
Yes. So the reason I wanted to bring this up today is,
Uh-oh.
what was that?
Is it? Do you hear us, Ellen?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
We're having a little owl trouble.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. So the reason I wanted to bring this up is because I think it's a great option for lower income people. After the $7,500 and $4,000 federal credits go away, it's kind of a nice option for people. Sorry, there's my mom behind me. It's a great option for people who still want to get some financial, credit or benefit for going electric after the federal credits end. So that's why I wanted to bring it up today. And I'll just quickly go over that people purchasing a new or used plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, battery electric vehicle, or fuel cell electric vehicle, in addition to a zero-emission motorcycle. All those are qualifying vehicles for the program, which I think is cool, new or used. And for a battery electric vehicle, you can get anywhere between $10,000 and $12,000 towards that vehicle. The eligibility is based on your location, so you must be a resident of in the green area on the map, which in this past year has expanded to include Santa Rosa, which is exciting. There are, adjusted gross income caps that you must meet, and you must have a vehicle that is 2007 or older, an ICE vehicle, to scrap. So, anyway, yeah, if anyone
Hold on,
has,
Alan. Lost the mic. Lost here. There's a flashing light right here.
can you hear me okay still?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
off for a second.
Okay. Anyway, if anyone has questions about this, John and I know a fair amount. We've done a fair amount of research about it, so we'd be happy to answer your questions. But it's good to note that you must apply and receive the award letter before you purchase the clean energy vehicle. So you have to go through this process before you purchase the vehicle. Anyway, just wanted to put that out there as something we can share with people, that we know of that are interested in electric car, especially after these federal credits end. Um, anyway, yeah, that's all I wanted to share.
Could I add, Ellen? I want to just
Yeah.
add one thing. We discovered that, because of the September 30th deadline coming, and they're not very responsive. They have a ton of people coming. They'll probably burn out their money, and they aren't really responding to give you information about what your status is. So keep in mind, like Ellen said, it probably won't be possible to do it before the 30th, but it will continue on. It's not limited by the 30th. You can call.
Is it new and used? Both?
New and used.
I just wanted to say this really reminds me of Cash for Clunkers, which is not a program I like. I'm not thrilled with the idea of scrap. I don't know if they're going to do the thing where they pour liquid glass in the engine and destroy it, but I'm not thrilled by the idea of destroying functional vehicles that may have higher tailpipe emissions, but are indeed produced and functional vehicles in order to get you into a new car. I don't know. It just seems like kind of counterintuitive.
Luckily, it can be a used car as well. So, but yeah, granted, good point.
We can't read the link there though. It's not.
It's online. You can get it online.
But it is Bay Area Air Quality Management District.
David, I sent that to you in the text on from Thursday.
You'll be able to see it on the.
Does anyone know if they are actually destroying the cars or if they're destroying them?
Yeah, you need to take the car to a dismantler like pick and pull. So that's part of the requirements. You have to take it to a dismantler.
Yeah, and that's why we didn't have enough used cars for a while after Cash for Clunkers. I was so lucky that I actually totaled a car about a week and a half before that, was able to buy a brand new Prius. But after that, so many people were turning in their old clunkers, you could not get a used car. It was like the situation we had during the pandemic.
Well, it's interesting. Jacob, I think I got your name. Is that right, Jacob? So next month, Lauren Morris from Nice Cars will be presenting, and she shares your concerns about removing this great rolling stock. It just happens to have the wrong motive technology inside from the fleet. So she's converting. She's converted a few Suzuki Samurais that are from the 80s, and so she's looking for other vehicles as well. So she'll be talking about that approach next month. Anything else on this one you want to go over, Ellen?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay.
As far as other aspects of the Clean Cars Enroll program, I sent a text message to Jerry and David and Dom, I think this week, about the participating dealerships. So they have that part of the Clean Cars Enroll program, the Bay Area Air Quality Management District. But again, there's like 3 in Marin, 2 in Napa, and 1 in Sonoma County, and they're all new vehicle dealerships. So it's just kind of limited for anyone who doesn't already know and want an EV.
Yes, you have to go to a qualified dealership and a qualified dismantler. So there are definitely some, requirements that you have to fit within. So it's not for everyone, but I think it's a great option for some people.
Yeah, I think that the intention isn't simply to scrap the vehicles. It's to give people an opportunity to, like we have considered it because we have a car that we would not be able to sell for hardly anything, and it would probably be scrapped. So it's a worthwhile thing to do in that case.
I support the idea. I just am kind of against destroying good things.
It's valid, very valid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to call your attention to a letter that you should have all received, or an email from the EVA. I believe this email went to every member of the EVA, and if you're not a member, then it's in the deck. Uh, but if you've been following anything that Lee Zeldin is doing, he's taking a far more aggressive approach than even Wheeler was in 2017 through 2020. On reversing federal clean air standards. And so particularly the California rule, but they're trying to reverse the basic uh, um, the basic law that makes the EPA responsible for clean air. And that law that came out, I think, in 2009. So they've created a letter that if you're interested, you can sign. And I don't know, I guess I could click on this and see it, but I'll let you guys do that. The leaders of the EVA testified on these changes at a public hearing, and they're asking for everybody in the EVA to look at the letter, read it, and sign it. And I've signed my copy of it, but so I think I've shared with you my background. So I grew up in Altadena, California, which is, and I went to St. Elizabeth's junior or elementary school there, and it was on the corner of Lake Avenue and New York Drive, and we were 3 miles from the Sierra Madres, and the smog was so bad when I was 9 years old that there were days where you could not see the mountains 3 miles away. It was bad. And so, huge fan of, of the Clean Air Act. I've lost many members of the generation before me to lung cancer, even though they were non-smokers that were living in LA. So, huge fan of the Clean Air Act. They are planning to send all of these letters to the EPA by the 22nd of this month. So have a look when you get a chance. If you're an EVA member, it's in your inbox now. It may have gone into some other file or filter, but take a look at the letter, and if you're comfortable with it, sign it. Any other topics on that?
I'll just mention out that
Yep.
we'll have a note sent out about our meeting today. I'll have a link to the deck, so if you want to get to the deck.
Okay.
Yeah.
EPA has already said that combustion power plants are no longer, natural gas or coal are no longer required to report the EPA on their emissions.
Yeah.
Like 3 days ago.
Nice.
No.
Oh, boy.
The other thing I think is important politically is Prop 50. So I think everyone should get behind and vote yes on Prop 50. That's going to impact the latter 2 years.
Okay. All right, thanks, Dan.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so let's see what's next. What's next is for those of you who live in Sebastopol and are subscribers to the Sebastopol Times, there was a great article written by Steve Pierce. I don't know Steve Pierce.
Yeah, he's a member of our club.
He's a member of our club. Perfect.
Multiple times.
Yeah,
We should introduce you sometime.
infrequent.
Yes. Steve, if you're listening, great article. Well done. But he wrote about Tor and the Rahus Institute. And here's a picture of Marilyn Madrone, who bought I think she bought a used Leaf.
Yeah, from his daughter.
What's that?
From his daughter, his daughter's girl, partner, single another.
Okay, I got you. So, and then Tor was also mentioned as having bought a used 2020 Bolt, and did a great job of getting $8,000 off incentives. So it looks like he got the car for about $10,000 on a 5-year-old car, and that's just fantastic. So really, really well done. And then He also,
Marilyn's had the card now for more than a year, and she contacted Steve because her charge cable wasn't working anymore.
yep.
I saw that she had wrote a note to Steve, so I sent her a note back saying, hey, we ought to check these things, and maybe it's the power coming into it, maybe something else. And so I went over to her place and I brought a cord with me. Steve is gonna give her another cord, and she had a 110 cord. And it took a little while, but the thing I figured out was that Marilyn didn't know how to plug the car in. So I had to show her how to plug the car in. She was saying that the plug wouldn't go in. And so she had to go to her neighbors and use their plug to plug in. And I said, well, show me how you plug it in. I said, the key on the bottom of the connector needs to be in the hole so that it lines up. And so I showed her how to plug in the cord, and she was all excited.
I suppose if you've only used a gasoline filler, station wouldn't be too important to you.
Well, what was the difference with the neighbors? The neighbors had it.
I have no idea why it worked.
Yeah, maybe the neighbor did it for
I
her.
think the neighbor, I didn't ask her, but I figured the neighbor did it for her, and then I went to her power box. In fact, she actually has 220 50 amp right there, but she's using a 110 cord, which for Maryland is fine. She does about 6 miles a day.
It'll make battery last longer.
Yeah, yeah. So, and what I did is I rerouted the cables. She had them laying on the ground, and the cord laying on the ground, and I put a hose wrapper thing that you put your hoses on to keep her cable from being down in the water when it rained. And I showed her how to do that stuff.
Yeah, thanks, Jerry.
So Steve also included a link to the NBEAA in the article. And I think the link was live, if I remember correctly, from this article. I reached out to Steve this morning. Steve also, when you research what he's done, he's created a website called cityclimatedashboard.org. And I've asked him to do a presentation on that to understand what the goals are, why he invented that. So hopefully he'll get back and as a member and a clear community leader will get back and kind of walk us through what he's done. Now, if he's already briefed on that, I'd love to hear that, but I've never did a presentation on that.
I can fill you in on that one as well. As part of
so let's keep going, and maybe Steve can talk us about that.
Okay, because there's more than that. That was an output that Steve did from a committee that we had created to look at how to deal with climate change in Sebastopol. And it was a result of data that I picked up from the state originally on a number of solar panels installed, the number of vehicles, because we were working on metrics for the city of Sebastopol. And then Steve picked up from the database that I started with, and he's now built a really nice database on ways to do this.
That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so this one popped up. I think it was either in discuss.
Hold on, again, wait a second.
Hold on.
It's coming right back.
Here it comes, slowly but surely. Not yet, not yet.
We're back to the old slide.
No, wait, I'm looking right here. There we go. Are you back now?
You guys are gone.
Doesn't work very well.
How are we doing?
Hey, John.
$1,000.
Yeah, except this is sold used for.
Oh, yeah. Here,
Oh yeah, we're good.
not yet.
Yeah, I hear you fine.
Not yet. Red light, red light. There we go. No, red light again.
And it's the connection to the.
And that's on.
John, you froze, John.
Hey, John,
Possible it's that. Yes.
get rid of the extension cord. I think
Um,
it's the extension cord. When I plugged it into my laptop.
well, this was actually kind of coming out a little bit here, so
Yeah.
If I have it back.
No, it's plugged in electric.
let's wait a little bit. Hang in there, folks.
Yeah, we're good. With technical difficulties, it's always best to blame the person using it. Yeah.
It's weird because I don't remember technical difficulties like this in the past. So I wonder what's
Well,
different.
I know I have had challenges. Like I said before, when I'm at Thunderstruck, I usually use my cell phone as the hotspot.
Oh, really?
I have,
Oh,
yeah, I have challenges with the Wi-Fi there, and I don't know what caused them. I've never bothered to debug them, who owns the problem
yeah,
and that stuff. But
got it. I
when
see.
I'm there, I get I get much better results using my hotspot than I do with the
Oh,
house Wi-Fi.
But John did it the first time. John, try the.
Just plug it right into the camera hole.
Yeah, I was just FYI for those in the room. You were locking up when you were on just
back.
laptop computer.
All right, it is the owl because we can hear him here.
Stop powering up. I don't see the blue light.
I see the blue light here.
You see it? Okay.
Go back to microphone. Video's on.
Yeah, but we don't have the source working. We got any lights going?
No.
Hey, John, is your laptop not plugged in?
We're plugged in, maybe this.
Here, just do something, John.
Your default microphone is changed to microphone array.
There we go. Yeah, this cable, I think the USB cable in the owl,
Another
not
USB
working
cable.
right. USB-C cable.
Yeah.
A to C.
A to
I-
C.
Yeah, I would check there.
There's this. Yeah, this cable is.
Who doesn't have a file of these cables at home?
I wonder if this has a wireless functionality or something.
I have more cables for these.
But whether or Bluetooth. Well, Bluetooth to it.
I was thinking maybe next time.
Mhm.
We're not gonna be able to get that working. Yeah. Solid.
I think.
Getting anything?
okay. We can see you now.
Ella's back.
All right, we're back.
You're back?
Yep.
You're back.
Okay, can you hear us?
Yeah, we're back.
Okay. Dominic, you go ahead.
Yeah, so I forgot if this came in on news or discussed, but I think a lot of us got pretty excited when we saw this project coming in. This organization, Redwood something is going to be breaking ground soon on a 131 unit affordable housing project near Corona Road Smart Station. What's really novel about it is they've been so frustrated with getting connections to PG&E that just said, let's just by law they have to be tied to PG&E, but they're going to try to go it alone for as much possible energy as they can. So they're installing a megawatt of solar on the project and 4.3 megawatt hours of battery on the project, and that's basically from what I read in the article, it's about twice what they think they need. To cover all the dark days in the winter that they need to get through. And their estimates that it provides 94% of microgrid energy. What's really interesting, and it's unfortunate that who's our Palo Alto guy?
Lawrence.
Lawrence is not on. 50 bidirectional EV chargers combined with 30 Chevy Bolts are going to close that remaining 6%. That's
Bolts in bidirectional.
Bidirectional bolts are going to provide that backup for the last 6% to close the gap. So
They're just.
So where did you get, I saw that in the article, so I went to the developer's site and I didn't see any of that. They had much less aggressive numbers listed for what they were committed to do.
Well, maybe
Well, I read it from Microgrid Knowledge. I didn't. I reached out to the to Redwood. Of course, I wanted to find out if they would talk to us about this project. This is fantastic.
Yeah.
And I haven't heard back yet. If anybody has access to, I forgot the name of the company, Redwood something, but if anybody knows can get a sponsor a link into them, they know a person working there. We'd love to hear more about this. The housing is 33%, 30 a third is guaranteed for homeless. And the remaining is for those at 30 to 6% of area median income. So
According to their website, the project itself was approved like 5 years ago.
yeah, I bet. It's probably getting the funding lined up, right? With interest rates moving around as much as they are, a lot of major projects have had a tough time making the numbers work financially.
I'm on the climate commission in Petaluma.
Yeah.
And I was having a discussion about this after our meeting on Thursday night. And because of all the hoops and stuff the developer had to jump through, that it really has added a lot of additional time to the project.
No.
And also the cost per unit now is like 700 grand a unit.
Oh, God.
So the argument or the discussion that was happening at the table over beers with two other commissioners and myself, between the two other fellows was, should they have scrapped a lot of these extra really cool things for the project and got the units built earlier so people could be living in them now.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. But better is the enemy of done, right? So, or perfect is the enemy of done.
Which is kind of the whole concept of the book Abundance that everyone's talking about.
That's right.
Question?
Read the book, wasn't that good?
Question on this?
Yeah.
Is it any mention of geothermal to decrease the costs of HVAC on this project?
No, I didn't see anything on geothermal. Maybe Dan, was there any that you heard anything locally?
No.
Yeah.
We need on-site geothermal or geothermal from the guys?
On-site geothermal.
You said less than the low HVAC, so you're talking about heat pumps, geothermal heat pumps, right?
Yeah.
Not geothermal generation.
No, geothermal.
It's pretty popular in the East Coast. It's not popular here because because our climate is so mild, it doesn't pencil out in most cases unless you do deep geothermal, which is a power plant, and they wouldn't do that there.
Interesting.
Guess what's really interesting? Go ahead, Brad. I'm sorry.
Oh, I was following up on what Jerry was saying. Even for a multi-family complex, like 130 units.
It's not a simple plug and play.
Okay.
Right. In fact, no units exist right now. There's one commercial entity in the United States right now doing it, not like we do at the geysers, but for what they do this for is for the winter's time, like in New Hampshire, it's pretty normal. You'll dig 6 feet down and lay a bunch of pipe, and that's where you get the 55-degree weather, 60-degree weather.
You can also do it for cooling in hot places.
Yeah.
You can go a little deeper than 6 feet. You don't have to go down to hot rock.
Right, but it's done, I believe, on the East Coast mostly so that your evaporator doesn't ice up, so you don't have to pump electric heat grids.
Good point. Good point.
Because if you try and run it below 32 degrees above, like in the air.
That's right. The heat pumps. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess where I was going with it was thinking, with the price of PG&E or electricity coming from PG&E right now, which is 2.5 to 3x what Ukiah and Mendo, Shasta, Reading, the other 16 or 20 municipal, the public grids in the state are paying. If you look at the IOUs versus the municipal power, it's 2.5 to 3 to 1 on price of electricity right now.
Yeah, my grandma lives in Ukiah and she only pays 12 cents a kilowatt hour.
Exactly. So I'm trying to figure out, for those of us who are here, how to do the math to say, at what price point does it make sense to just go off grid and get your 120 signal from PG&E only and do everything on your own property and try to make a miniature version of this? Because I mean, at some point it pencils out, right? Is it 43 cents a kilowatt hour? Is it 50 cents? Is it 60? But at some point, the rugged individualist is trying to figure out in me where's the math where it just pays for itself to just get out of this. And
I was having a conversation with somebody about this last year, and I didn't really look into it that deeply, but the number I came up with, my example was a diesel generator because I thought it would be a more dramatic example of
yeah,
how ridiculously expensive electricity has gotten. But what I figured is that if you have a reasonably efficient diesel generator, it becomes, and not including the price of the generator, of course, but just for fuel,
yeah,
it becomes more worth it to buy diesel and run a generator at 75 cents a kilowatt hour, which we are rapidly approaching.
75. Okay. All right.
Don't use that as a real number. I did that.
Yeah.
But my
Yeah, I don't know how to do the math. I'm trying to figure that out, but I thought this was just an absolute wonderful thing from a housing perspective. I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of anyway. I'll get political here. So
Next slide.
slide.
But bi-directional bolt, this is the first time I've ever heard that.
I had one and I didn't know it was bidirectional.
Yeah, I didn't know you could do that.
I've had two, and I didn't know they were bidirectional.
Yeah, I was going to
Wow.
ask if you needed like a custom firmware from GM or something to
Do you
do that.
know now that it is bi-directional?
No, it might be the new model with their.
Yeah, that's what I.
Because I have the first gen with this 1.5 gen battery. I don't have the second gen
One and a
battery.
half gen.
Well, yeah, they put the replacement battery they put in mine wasn't the actual.
It's not actually a G2. It's like
I don't know the letters and numbers, but it's not the latest. It's the repaired.
So does anyone here remember when the guy, I thought he was from the South Bay, talked about electric vehicle chargers at multifamily housing complexes?
Yeah.
It was maybe like 6 or
Bryce
maybe
Nesbitt.
more months, huh?
Bryce Nesbitt.
Yeah, it's him. He gave a presentation to the NBEAA. So it's on the YouTube channel for us. But I don't know if did anyone talk to him about that? I don't know if he's still on the email group or.
He's in the discussion board.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been active in the discussion board.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
Yeah, I don't know. So on the next one was sometime in August. I think it was right before the last meeting. But for those of you who are somebody said they were Ford fans, you know, Jim Farley has been fairly consistent for several years now that the U.S. must move towards electric vehicles. He is the one executive who's the most outspoken that the onslaught of subsidized EVs from China is going to take over the planet if we don't react. And so back in August, he's accepted that as a market reality that the EVs are here. The problem that Jim Farley has is that he has to tell his shareholders every year that he just lost another $5 billion on his electrification strategy. And so he's trying to reset that. And in the process of resetting that, they launched two new things. One is the Ford Universal Production System, which takes the vehicle into three major themes, and I forgot what they were, but I think it's body, motor, and innards, simple as that. And those three streams merge in this universal production system. And this presentation on the right is where he's presenting to, the governor, Andy Beshear of Kentucky was there, and many other folks were at this presentation, where they committed to make a $2 billion investment in Kentucky, which is going to be the first place this gets rolled out. In addition, they're launching the Ford Universal EV platform. And as I mentioned last time, F-150 is the largest, has been the largest selling vehicle in the country for 45 years or something. So they're focused heavily on a new four-door pickup truck. I saw some pictures of it online. I wasn't sure if they were real pictures or if they were AI pictures or theoretical pictures, but it looked to be about the size of a Maverick. I think that's where you were going with it earlier, Sonia. The target price was 30 grand, 2027 launch. Some of the nut metrics are 20% parts count reduction, 25% fastener reduction, and 40% fewer workstations on the production line. So, you know, just a real transformation in what Ford wants to do. It's all going to be LFP battery technology, so no nickel or cobalt. But it's definitely worth a look if you've not seen the video. It's a little more splashy than it needs to be before they get to the meat and potatoes of it, but it's a real investment.
Cool. Thanks,
But
Don.
it's a four-door pickup truck, so it has a shorter bed.
Yeah.
I mean, the Maverick bed is like practically 3 feet long. So
I think it's a car with a wheelbarrow on the back.
I mean, the Maverick is literally on the Fusion platform. The
Oh,
Maverick is on the same platform as the new European Fusion. So
yeah, right.
So how much does anyone know
yes,
how much the Lightning is going for then?
No, it's a different market entirely.
Okay.
the Lightning is
65.
I can
Yeah, so-
lower
That
than
much.
that.
Yeah.
With the small battery, the like 150-mile range.
Yeah.
I don't.
The Maverick really surprised everybody. You know, they forecast the Maverick to do well, but the Maverick does about 100,000 units a year.
Right.
Very popular vehicle. And
Well,
That's not very many.
I think the reason it's so popular is if Ford stopped selling cars here, and the Maverick is a car, but you can say, "Oh, I drive a truck." That's the whole idea behind it, I believe, and it's a car, really.
yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah.
Well, there seems to be a startup that's doing it.
Late,
Right.
yeah. Well, Slate, I don't think they're really going to be.
Yeah,
I
I know.
hope they are, but I don't think they're really going to be that successful. They're too stripped down.
Yeah.
And they strip down things that don't make any sense to me.
Yeah.
And they're still not that cheap. They're more expensive than a base Maverick. And, the average person doesn't care about it being 100% electric that much to
I do.
choose. Right, but we're sitting in
Also,
an EV
yeah.
hospital right now.
Also, I think they were heavily invested in the $7,500 credit. That was going to bring their price down to.
Yeah, has anyone seen Tello?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tello is pretty cool. They're very
Tello-
interesting,
TELO is like a tiny European truck style.
but they're made here.
Yeah.
There's a video of Robert Dunn from Aging Wheels driving one around San Francisco, and I would suggest that all of you go check it out after the meeting.
Okay, Tello. All right.
It's like the front end of his.
Yeah,
But the Lightning costs about 65,000. Is that
It's a big truck.
it's an F-150.
okay?
Yeah.
No, that's
But
just
I think gas F-150 costs like 40 grand base, I think. So
Yeah, base. Yeah.
right, with
Who buys base?
seats, a radio this big,
okay.
Yeah.
two-wheel
No,
drive,
just 30,000 is a good price.
2.76.
But it has a much smaller.
Next
bed.
slide.
You want to go?
I think as that truck market mature, the small truck market matures, I'll update my truck analysis probably in the spring.
Oh, good. Tell us about this, John.
Okay.
Yeah, so John and I put this slide together. Do you want to start, John, or would you like me to?
I was
Okay.
just going to start, but yeah, let me know if I missed anything or go ahead. So yeah, they're calling it a sort of a subcompact crossover. We were trying to figure out what exactly it was, but some people think of it as a hatchback. It has a very sloping rear and everything.
I would call it a liftback.
A liftback. Yeah. One thing that is really fascinating that Ellen and I were looking at is that their base model is the only model with that'll get 303 miles range. The S plus, the S plus. Okay, so there's the S, which is the real base model with a smaller pack, but with the larger pack, the 75 kilowatt hour pack, you pay more money for more features and you lose range. And it just kind of,
It's strange. I mean, I can't imagine that extra features add that much
well,
weight. What
it's
do you
not
think
just the weight. It's that there's actually aerodynamic wheel covers on the S Plus.
that was actually
That's
thinking
one.
with the Model 3 for a while.
Yeah, and two is the profile of the tires increases on the other ones. And so you get a lot more drag from just the frontal area of the tires, I guess.
Oh, really?
So it's just, but all the way down to 259. I thought that was really weird.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe in reality it won't be that way. Who knows?
that S Plus, I would have to imagine then is uh very. I mean, it's a 52 kilowatt hour pack, 303 miles at a 52 kilowatt hours. Oh,
No,
52,
oh,
sorry,
no,
75 kilowatt
yeah.
hours. Yeah, that's not that great. Never mind.
Yeah, yeah. It's 206 on the
Oh, yeah, I
the
see
smaller
that.
one.
75
right.
kilowatt hours. Yeah, I mean, a Model 3 long range is what, like 80? And it gets more than that. So that's
Yeah.
what, like 115 mpg then?
We've got 72 kilowatt hours on the EV6.
Yeah.
And around town, I get 340 miles.
That's pretty amazing. Yeah. But I think the cool thing for me, I mean, this is one of the reasons I'm excited about the Leaf. Our first production new leased EV was a Leaf in like, what was it, Ellen, 2016 or something? I can't remember.
Oh, it was like 2010, I think. Wasn't
No,
it?
I don't think we went back that far because
2011 then.
anyway,
Okay,
it was an
2011.
early Leaf. All right. And that was exciting for us. And we really, I remember being in this group. I don't know if you were there, Jerry, where they took us up to near the airport and we drove around in a boxy EV that was, it was a test platform for the
The ACP e-box.
okay. It was a test platform for the Leaf, wasn't it?
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no, that was the Versa. They took
Yeah.
a Versa and they put a Leaf drivetrain in it.
But
Yeah,
I
I've seen
remember
that car.
it just kind of came out of nowhere. The Nissan company was very, very creative. They did a great job just in their engineering and their work. So we followed the Leaf. So it's just exciting to see them come out with a 300-mile, range car, which is what they need to do.
And
right
one of
now.
the really cool things about the Nissan Leaf is that it actually has two charging ports. So on the right-hand side, it has a NAX, and on the left-hand side, it has a J1772. So that's something really unique that I haven't seen in any other vehicles yet, and I actually kind of like it. I think it's kind of a cool approach to take, for kind of encompassing a lot of scenarios that you could have. Like if you have a J1772 charger at home, and if you want to do Tesla fast charging, it kind of opens things up to a lot of possibilities. So that was something unique we wanted to mention.
Right.
Cecilia is asking, does the
go
NAC
ahead.
support level 2 AC charging? I believe not. John, do you know the answer to that?
That's right. It's an odd situation, Cecilia. They only have AC charging on the J1772 side.
Yeah.
And I think somebody was saying somewhere we were reading that maybe what happened with Nissan is that they got caught right in production. They got caught right in the middle of the NACS port coming out. And they decided to do that and also have AC because normally the NACS port could support AC.
Yeah, I almost wonder if they were just trying to simplify the electrical system somehow by
Well, but it also gives you access to a whole bunch more chargers without an adapter.
Right,
Yeah.
but next to
It's a
J
teeny
adapter
little
isn't that
adapter.
big of a deal,
Yeah.
but, I mean, it's a passive adapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That protocol is the same, but I wonder if they didn't. I wonder if they didn't support AC fast charging on the NACS port to avoid, I don't know,
Yeah.
a contactor arrangement to switch from
Uh-huh,
AC to DC charging or something.
Yeah, it
or-
very well could be that they that it was that. I actually think it's kind of cool though. I don't know why.
I kind of like it.
Yeah.
What's interesting about it, if you stop and think about it, because it's the Leaf. In general, the Leaf has always had two ports.
That's
Okay?
it.
It had a J1772, and then it had a DC port. So their wiring system inside may be an AC wiring system.
Yeah.
With electronics for a DC wiring system, and they just replaced the DC wiring system connector.
Do they keep with CHAdeMO in Japan? Maybe they put
I don't know.
CHAdeMO on one side,
CHAdeMO's dead, I believe.
even in Japan.
Well, it's a limited standard. It'll only do 50 kilowatts, which is
I have a feeling, Ellen, do you recall this? I have a feeling that question about CHAdeMO may be one reason that they did this because they would not be able to put both ports on one side. And so they decided to do the CHAdeMO and NACS on a separate side and not have it in the front. I
Yeah,
can't
logic,
remember if that's
that
true.
makes sense to me. I don't remember hearing that for sure, but that makes sense to me. And I
Okay.
know they did mention that the NACS being on the right-hand side allows you to pull into a Tesla supercharger front, pull in frontwards and charge just like a Tesla. So I think I like that they're putting in thought into that part because not all NACS vehicles nowadays, like I know the Ionic 5, they have it on the wrong side.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I'm
Yeah.
glad they put some thought into that.
I think the new Ionic 5s and the EV6s swap sides. The 20
did.
when they roll out the
Right,
NACS.
the 2024 still has the charge port on the wrong side.
What's the charge rate on this one?
It's 150, right, Ellen?
Yeah, 150 max on the NACS, yeah. And 7.2 kilowatt max on the J1772. So
Oh, boy, that's the low end on both sides.
yeah, I know. But anyway, I think it's kind of a cool design. I'm excited for it. This would be a car that I would consider getting in the future.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead, Brad.
I've got a question as well. Oh, if we could go back a slide because I'm having a little bit of trouble seeing. But
that slide or back?
The different no, that slide. So the difference between the two different battery sizes, the 52 kilowatt hour and the 75 kilowatt hour, in terms of dollars, it looks like the S trim is 27,000 and does 206 miles, and the S Plus, if I'm reading that correctly, is 30,000 and does about 100 miles more for $3,000
I can't
more.
imagine they'll make any SS.
That's a good deal.
Well, keep in mind, this is all projected. It's
Okay.
all, we had to kind of really work this out of the internet. It's not real.
These haven't been released yet.
Not formally. So these
Well,
are.
they on the Nissan site, they have released the S Plus, SV Plus, and Platinum Plus
right.
figures. So they have released those, but the S dollar, MSRP was not on the Nissan Leaf site, so we had to find that from an article.
Yeah,
So that's
right.
kind of an approximation probably, but it was
And
car
also-
and driver. I don't know.
Oh, right.
Oh, that's a good point. One thing I was going to say about the 150 kilowatt limit, I believe that if it's a 400 volt system, I believe that pretty much perfectly coincides with the 200 amp limit that's common on a lot of chargers, which is why you're getting, what did you say? 300 kilowatts?
I've gotten over 300.
Really?
Right. Your limit.
We have to find the right place where nobody else is plugged in. And the backup batteries are there.
You've gotten over 300.
Yeah, you have an 800 volt system on your car, so at 200 amps, you're doing at least 300 kilowatts rather than, or maybe it's a 250 amp limit. I can't remember anyway.
Well, I mean, Ellen, if those two for the S trim and the S Plus trim, if those two numbers are correct, basically that you're paying, somebody would be paying $3,000 more for 100 miles, basically more of range. So 10% more in terms of dollars for 50% more in terms of miles of range. So that seems to me like a good deal.
Yeah, I mean, I really, if those are the numbers, I can't imagine they'll sell any S's.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, one of the articles we read was saying that it's very comparable to the first original Leaf, MSRP price that came out, so which is like an incredible feat for a company to over, what's it been, like 15 years now, to keep a very similar baseline MSRP price. Anyway, it's kind of an amazing feat they were talking about in this article to keep it that low. So I'm excited for it. Yeah. Coming fall 2025, so keep your eye out.
So what do we do with our old Leaf?
I don't know. My 2018 is fine. It's getting me around town. It can be down the South Bay.
What's its current range? Jerry, what's the 2018 Leafs current?
I bought the cheap one, so the range was 160 miles when I got it. I've got 45,000 miles on it. It's now down to about 155 mile range.
Okay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. So I can get to the South Bay, but I can charge going home.
Okay.
And Mike,
All right.
Anything? Oh, okay.
So on open discussion, when we had the meeting at Snow McLean Power, I opened my mouth about somebody asked a question about whether your batteries, are good when you're buying the car. How do you know? And I said, they've got a really simple monitor. Well, it turned out on the Leaf, there's a really simple monitor that says my battery is this healthy. So I went to the Kia and I looked for it, and I went to the manual. There's no place in the Kia where it tells you the health of the battery. So I went ahead
You got
And
an OBD2 reader?
yeah, so I had one sitting around the house because I think I was trying to figure something out on what's in here someplace. There we go. Well, it's in there someplace. I'll pull it out in a second. No, don't worry about it. There's a video. You'll see it in the video. Actually, there it is right there. So I made this video up the next day. Or I made the first video up the next day going, okay, let me go look at the vehicle. And you'll see in the video, I've struggled. So I made the first video. And I posted that one on NBEAA Discuss, sent it to everybody. And then I went to sleep and I woke up the next morning and go, that was stupid the way you did that. Wait a second. I can record everything on the iPad, so the screens look really good. And I've discovered everything. So I went back the next day and I said, let me start with the Leaf. And the video you're going to see is me analyzing the battery health of the Leaf, and then going back and analyzing the battery health of the Kia. And so and Tor was asking me, can we analyze the battery health on the Bolt? And the answer is absolutely. It works on all of these.
So which app do you Torx?
Start the video, will you?
Question was, when I'm buying a used car, how do I know it's okay to buy this particular car?
Well, and the answer actually shows up by doing this.
A lot of people don't want this level of detail.
Yeah.
They don't really want that answer. They just want to know, is it okay?
Yeah.
And so some cars give you like a, this battery.
It's just one of those things you do. They're in Japan.
But I think for most of us want.
Yeah, it turned out, hopefully the video will come up.
In a recent presentation, a bunch of new EV potential buyers wanted to know, how do I know if the battery is any good in the vehicle I'm about to buy? And in fact, for any of us, is our battery good? So I decided to explore that.
Like this.
I began this kind of exploration into how to look at vehicles a long time ago with an ODB2 dongle that I bought for my Prius. And in an earlier video, I showed you that I used some of the tools here to look at my Kia. In particular, there's 3 right here. ODB Fusion seemed like the simplest one. I tried that and didn't get any information about the EVs from that. I tried in-car dock. It wouldn't let me define the vehicle that I had because it didn't know about EVs, but it did tell me that I had 96% after 25,000 miles of the capacity of my battery. And then I tried Car Scanner, another one which I found a video on. And this is the one that we're going to be demonstrating here with both the Leaf and with the Kia. It seems to understand EVs. It occurred to me after my first video that there was an easier way to record what the screens looked like using the iPad. So I decided to try this again, now with the Leaf, and went back into that vehicle and plugged into the dongle. It faces a little bit differently than it does in a Kia, but it lights up even before the vehicle turns on. So let's take a look now at what the screens look like on the Leaf. Okay, I plugged in the dongle. We're checking to see if the network is available. There it is. Let's connect to that network. Go to the application. And let's do a connect. Use Wi-Fi to connect. Next. Okay, we need a connection profile.
If you click the link inside the meeting, you'll see this a lot.
Connection profile. We're going to tell it that we're in a Nissan Leaf. There we go, Nissan. And tell it we're in a Leaf. Let's see, this is a 2018, so we want this one.
The other apps don't have Leafs, don't have Kias, don't have. Okay.
So you've only found one app.
Or you can download CSV files, and there's somebody's made one for a Leaf, but you get to pay $5 for it.
Yeah.
All right. We have sensors, and look. Now this one's measuring in millivolts. And you notice here that they look a little bit different. They're not all the same. So this is an older car with 45,000 miles on it.
They're all reading 4.1, 4.12
Tell
Volts,
everybody
what
what you mean, cells. Okay, that's the
Our
list of
maximum
this.
cell voltage is 4.2 and our minimum cell voltage is 4.2.
Jerry, what app is this?
I'll show you on the iPad.
And we now see each of the bottom, in the bottom here, some of the cells. Go on to the next screen. And this is where we see the live function working. The total battery voltage right now at 403 volts.
You
see
could drive your car and monitor what it's doing as well.
Don't recommend.
You haven't used any power. Let me see if I turn on the air conditioner, if it makes any difference.
That would be a good tip.
What are you seeing right now? Is this watts or what's the?
Okay, very little.
Okay.
The air conditioner. Picking up some of the battery power. And the temperature is nice and stable. See the current moving back and forth just a little bit. So these screens are pretty impressive. Here's more details on each one of the cells. And we see the temperature for the battery system. Now, I don't know if the layout of these has anything to do with the layout inside the vehicle. That would be interesting to know. Here's our cell voltages, and you can see the voltage levels are flickering just a little bit here at the top. We're not using much power. We are draining it. If we were driving, we might see something different. And that looks like the extent of the dashboard for the Leaf. In fact, there's only 7 dashboards available on the Leaf, where there were 30 some odd dashboards available on the Kia. All right, we're going to disconnect. Now that I know better how to control the tools, let's go head back over to the Kia and see what the data looks like. Right now, the vehicle is turned off. I've got the scanner in place. Even though the vehicle's turned off, the network is there. Let's see if the program works with it turned off. Okay, and let's do a connect. I tried connecting to the EV6 after connecting to the Leaf, but it kept trying to connect to the Leaf for some reason. The software was confused. It took a while for me to finally discover I needed to create a new car. And then even after that, when I do the connect, I have to tell it what kind of a car it is. Okay, so we're going to try that this way. Go back and do it again. It looks like I can't define it. We want an EV6, which is under Ionic. Here we go. And the ignition is switched on. And it's looking for the parameters. And here we go. Here's all our parameters.
This is your CSV.
There's our voltage, 400 volts, and you see the battery voltage is 791. Charging voltage, 825. The temperatures for the cells, just gathering more data. I can actually look at the dongle and I see it is just cranking away getting data. And here's our cell voltages. Oh, look, here's some cells that are not at 4.12. Now, if we leave this, we can come back to the dashboard. And you notice there's 33 different monitors that are available, dashboard entries. What I'd like to know is, state of charge now is at 99%. I wonder what the health is for the battery. And I saw on another monitor that it said it was 98%. I mean, we see all of this stuff is pretty dynamic. And if I now turn on the air conditioning, let's see if it impacts the power. There goes the power. And if I were to drive the vehicle, I'd probably see something even more. You can see dynamically, it's measuring everything on the vehicle as well. And if we were to move the vehicle, see if we can do that just a little bit here.
That was scary.
Just back out of the garage a little bit, back in.
Doink.
Here we go. We see the dynamic values. There's lots of screens. And it's kind of difficult sometimes to tell what each one of the screens is talking about. Here's the different modules, 18 modules for the system.
This one shows modules and cells.
Battery work time, the total amount of time is spent, the high state of charge. And notice how it's painting the values as it goes along. This car, actually, we've done 1,000 kilowatt hours worth of quick charges, maybe a little bit more than that.
The pop-ups are all things I added on the video so you could get more information.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just can't read all voltages. Now, this is interesting. When I looked at this before, it was not quite as dynamic as it is right here. Now we'll see certain cells. And so the health of the system is based on the health of the cells. And if we see that all the cells are near the same voltage, we have a pretty healthy system, I would guess.
$15 cells.
Yeah. More not dynamic screens. And I wish I knew what all of these meant. Auxiliary battery.
Got mobile module.
Guessing that has something to do with the 12-volt battery system. So this is showing at 13.8 volts.
It doesn't have to. There's, you can use IGBT, so you can step it up, step it down.
The temperature in the motor and the batteries is always significant. And that's part of the reason that they monitor all of this. One of the things that we didn't see on the Leaf, where there's a lot less monitors, so many more monitors have been added to the newer vehicles so that they can now condition the batteries.
Well, I know I can charge on a 40-volt only charger by using a motor.
You can see when you pull this down. Remember,
I'm turning the wheel, and you can see what it's doing with that.
Just, what are we looking at?
I'm turning the steering wheel.
Oh. Steering angle sensor?
Yeah.
What I'm scanning through the screens for is to see if I can find the screen that tells us the basic summary as to what they think the health of the battery is. We're on screen number 22 now.
Meaning there are that many screens of data?
33.
33 data screens.
I did see a field called state of health, Jerry. Is that where you settled out at?
Yeah, in fact, what I found, if you pause for a second, what I found is the first, what they label as screen number 1 and what they label as screen number 32 or 33, whichever is the last one, had the most important information summarized on them. And I'll show that at the end of the video here.
Like, can you go backwards?
Oh, yeah.
1 to get to 33?
Yeah, yeah.
Goodness. Pages and pages.
So these are the different data screens?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so 5.
And I really didn't figure out how they're organized.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about Torque is you can design your own.
With 33 screens, you can get kind of overwhelmed, as you can tell. But I went back and I looked and I said, are there 2 important screens for me? And I found the first screen was 1. It's telling me what my state of charge is, 99%, and the health of the battery, 96%. It has some other values on it, that are significant as well. Then I wondered about a screen I saw, which was screen number 33. And on 33, it also starts to talk about the fundamental aspects of the vehicle itself. So let's take a look a little bit closer. And this was an interesting screen for the same reason. It's showing that the system's running at 791 volts right now. Oh, I got the heater on my seat. Let me turn that off. See what that changes. And as the amp starts to drop. If I step on the brake pedal, you see the brake light turns on. If I turn on the air conditioning, and the amount of current on the vehicle goes up as well. Anyway, this seemed pretty interesting. And I can actually move the vehicle just back a little bit. There's our RPM, moves just a tiny bit, miles per hour. It's not going to show much. Let's go forwards.
Gosh.
There it's 0.86 what?
Watts.
Watts.
So there's a 96, there's a 99, and this screen looks like a really good one if you really just want to get a fast picture of what the vehicle looks like.
This is
So these
the
numbers, then you might want to go back to the detail screens, go back to the details and find out, do I have a bad cell?
So that's what I learned about my vehicles using a $20 dongle and some free software on my iPad.
Hey Jerry, there was a field called SOH on I think screen two, but you ended up not calling out SOH as the state of health. You ended up calling the state of charge at the BMS.
No, that's not true. Go look closer at it and you can see I circled two different things on the one screen. One was the state of charge, the other one was the state of health.
You mentioned the
Yeah.
state of charge was 99.
Nine. The state of health was 96 and 98 or whatever it was.
But the one that you said was state of health that you circled, you actually circled state of charge of BMS. That's what said 96, not state of health.
No, really.
I'll have to look at it again.
I don't know how to rewind this thing. I don't know what app this is playing.
Okay. That's okay. I'll go look at it again on the screen.
Yeah, but there was a screen. There was a screen in there when you first showed the Kia that said SOH, and I assume that's state of health. That's
Okay.
fascinating. Thank you, Jerry.
So one of the things I learned from this, there were a number of things I learned from this. One was there's a whole bunch of different apps. Some of the apps know about EVs and some of the apps don't. And the only reason I found this one was somebody had posted a video where he was looking at it and I said, which app are you using? Because the other app is the one I've been using for a while. The other thing I learned was this. The two cars, one car was built in 2018, the other one is 2023. Between 2018 and 2023, there were two different manufacturers, but there's a shitload more sensors in the 2023 than there are in the 2018. And I believe that one of the reasons that our vehicles are becoming better and better about managing batteries, they monitor a shitload more stuff than they did before.
Well, I would be curious to see if a 2023 Leaf is the same, because they're very, very different vehicles.
I know they're very different vehicles. Yeah, good point. Because you've got an active cooling system in one, you've got a passive cooling
And
system in
one's
the
an
other.
800 volt architecture,
Yeah.
and one's 400, and
Yeah.
one is an earlier design.
Yeah.
By 2023, Nissan already went to 800.
No. The
you're
EV6
talking about the EV6.
is 800. And the point on the 800 volts is this. The reason I reacted the way I did, the battery does not have to be the same voltage as the bus. Caleb and I came out of a company where the way we did things was the battery packs were at 400 volts, 390 volts. The bus was at 780 volts. The motor ran at a different voltage. And what we did was with IGBTs, we're changing the DC voltage from one area to another. So we put the charges at 700 volts.
Right. The Kias do the opposite basically. If you want to charge at a 400 volt station, it'll use the motor and the inverter. The motor is an inductor, and the switching of the inverter to drop the or to bring the voltage up to the full 7 to 800.
Yeah. Anyway, so it was very interesting. I said a $20 dongle and virtually a free. I can't remember if I paid for this app or not, but if I paid for it, it was like a few bucks.
No, it's free.
That went free. I think I paid for one of the other ones.
Car scanner.
The name of the app is
Car scanner.
Car scanner.
And look at the video because I go through all three apps again. So those are the three that I tried.
It's really a great find, Jerry, that not
Yeah.
only does it work on the Leaf, which we're so used to, and it would like Leaf Spy or whatever, but all these others.
Yeah.
And it's got electric in there. It's not just all the gas cars, so.
So how many years ago was it,
Mine.
John?
I'm halfway through the generation, the 1.5 generation battery that GM put in for free, so. And we wanna make an informed decision, do we,
Yeah, I mean, like I said,
before the,
I know I threw the dongle in here someplace.
I've got one as well.
Well, is it any ODB2 reader?
You need an Elm 27. Elm 227 is a standard.
Cause there's two car
Cause that's
scanner
not an Elm percentage.
downloads and one's the Elm.
Yeah.
download, one's-
That's an Elm? Oh,
I think so.
okay, because there's a ton of them out there.
yeah,
Right.
that's Amazon, I got the same one, but.
Yeah.
It's really.
Because John, if some years ago you were demonstrating torque
Mhm.
on an OBD
Uh-huh.
two,
Which
right?
one do you have?
So I bought,
How about this one for doing coding on
I've got about 5 OBD twos.
Because we were working on a truck in
And I gotta
New
find-
Jersey and we had to run out to.
Okay, well, Dom,
Yeah, so just one
let's-
more slide, John, so thanks. So the next meeting is October 11th, and hopefully John and Brian will be at your shop. Lauren Morris, who knows both of you, will be talking about nice vehicles. This is a picture of her underneath her Samurai. And she sent me this quote this morning. NICE is building a tech-enabled infrastructure to reclaim, certify, and redeploy EV components for decades of value and new applications. So I don't know if that's what she started doing, but I think that's a bit of a transition. Maybe she's about to tell you that I read that as she's about to compete with you, Thunderstruck, as opposed to converting ICE vehicles, which is where she
or
started.
provide for us, who knows?
Yeah,
Provide
right.
parts for us, right?
By the way, officer, if somebody else has to send the messages, I'll be in Italy when the
Okay.
first message goes out, and when you guys have the meeting, I'll be in Amsterdam.
Okay,
All right.
let us know before then and we'll get what we need. Okay.
Yeah, really good. So that's the meeting part, but feel free to continue the conversation. I thought what Jerry's video was fascinating, so I was very excited to see that. So thank you, Jerry. Great job on that, and thanks for